Hey guys, so it is time to discuss the NHL Gaming World Championships for 2020. We received all of the information that we needed last Thursday. I was away this weekend, so I'm going to put together all the information and things that I think that you guys need to know for the upcoming event, whether you've maybe never competed in it or this is, just returning and you're looking to get a refresher how to register for the event. I'll include all of that as well as the dates and whatnot for the upcoming event. So let's jump into it. First things first, if you guys want to sign up, you go to nhl.com/fans/gaming. The link will be down in the bottom, and you'll get to this place right here, and you can click on register now. It's going to take you to the faceit.com page where you just need to create an account or log in. And then you can go and choose whatever one you want. Now, for the Gaming World Championship, essentially, it's going to work a lot like Hut Champs. I'll get into that in a second. But the thing that you do want to remember is you can only do it on one console. So maybe you've been playing both, and you're looking now to decide which one to use. You can only qualify on one console. The second that you qualify, the second that you finish in the top 32 of one of the weekly online play-ins, that's it. So if you have two consoles and maybe your Xbox team's a lot worse than your PS4 team, but you go on a good run with your Xbox team, you're stuck with that. That's all. You can't qualify with your PS4 team, so just keep that in mind. Now, looking quickly over the regions here, it will show you each one, US and PS4 for each country, and we've got 469 so far. This is March 2nd for Xbox for the US and 339 for the PlayStation 4 bracket. And then in Canada, where the majority of the players are, I believe, we've got about 500 for Xbox for Canada and 600 for the PS4 side for Canada. And then things get awfully skewed when it comes to the European region. So on PS4, 514 people have signed up for the event, but Xbox in Europe, 135 total. So it'll be interesting to see that number as we continue on throughout the weeks, because you do have technically until March 29th to register, but you're going to want to do it a lot quicker than that, especially because essentially the online plan starts March 11th, and we're going to get into the dates and whatnot right now. So back on the page, we'll go over all the official rules and whatnot, and I'll try to make sense of this because this is essentially just kind of a word wall, but there are 4 rounds for the Gaming World Championships and a lot of money at stake. That's one of the biggest changes from 2019 and 2020 is the amount of money that is now in the prize pool. So no longer is it $100,000, it's a $150,000 prize pool, and you can earn money in a lot more stages other than just the Vegas finals and whatnot. So let's start with the online open play and how it works. So you've gone to NHL.com, you've gone to Faceit, you're all registered, you've chosen the console. So what's going to happen now? Well, essentially on March 11th, okay, March 11th, that is when it first starts here. I'll show you kind of here with the calendar. March 11th, it's going to open up like Hut Champs. You're going to get what I believe is a collectible, and you're going to be able to go into a game mode right on Hockey Ultimate Team, just like Hut Champs, and you're going to be able to play in it. Now, what's going to happen is you are going to get 25 games. That's it. That's all. You can't play more, and it's win-based. So the amount of wins that you get out of that 25 is going to dictate how you rank inside the top, however many players actually do play it that week. So you need to get into the top 32 to earn a collectible to play in the online playoff, basically the qualifier to get to the regionals, okay? So as we go down here, there will be 4 chances to qualify, and each one is going to run for about 4 days, I believe. So it'll start Wednesday, and it will end on Sunday each week. So we have the 11th to the 15th, the 18th to the 22nd, the 25th until the 29th, and then you have the 1st until the 5th, and that is when it is going to end. Okay, so any of those weeks, any of those dates, you can play your 25 games. So if you can't play it the first week, the first 5 days or 4 days, don't fret, there's 3 more. And this goes for each console. So there is going to be 32 from each week, from each region, from each console, making it on to the next round. So you're going to get 128 representatives from the PS4 side and Xbox side in Canada, the US, and Europe, just like last year. So after you've hit the 128, okay, that is where things again change drastically from last year. So if we scroll down here, you'll see here's the settings and whatnot. Nothing really changing here except for injuries will be on during the open play. But after that, once you've hit the online play-in, which is the round before regionals, it looks like it is off for that. But nothing else really all that out there in terms of settings. Okay, so you need to make sure these are correct. Again, I went closer to the games when they start in next Wednesday. I'll release a video just making sure that everyone knows, because again, you don't want to be caught for a forfeit when you beat someone, but then it doesn't count. So again, in the online open play, again, it determines the week. So March 11th to 15th, the 18th to the 22nd, 25th to the 29th, and the last one is April 1st to the 5th. And then it will be determined based on how many wins you have. Last year, I believe, I don't want to get this wrong, but I think 19 to 20 was roughly where you had to be inside of the top to get into the top 32 each week out of 25 games, okay? So say you're tied, all right? So say you have 17 wins, everyone else has 17 wins, there's a lot. It'll go based on skill rating. So after each game, if you beat someone that's very highly ranked or has a lot of skill points, you will gain a lot more. But say you get matched with someone who's a lot lower ranked than you, you'll get the win, which is the most important, but you'll get much less skill points. So if you have a much easier road to those 17 wins, you're not going to get in when someone had to play a lot harder opponent. So just keep that in mind. The online play-in, so that's the next part. So this is the 128-person bracket, okay? You're going to be seeded based on your wins and skill rating being the tiebreaker inside the top 128, okay? So, again, this is going to be for both consoles, for all regions, okay? So players will each play a weekly period who have earned a collectible. Will be eligible to participate in the applicable online play-in bracket. Players will be seated in the applicable online play-in bracket based on 1, total number of wins during a weekly play period, 2, skill rating, 3, goal differential during a weekly play period, and 4, the earlier to qualify player. And in the event of the tie remaining, a coin flip. But there's literally no sense in which that, because whoever qualified first, I'm assuming there's a timestamp, so unless you literally got like the last second. So here is the biggest change for this year, and I think, honestly, the best one. So, again, it can't be, you can't make the event super long to the point where, like, it's just going on and on and on forever to qualify. And with that would be essentially a best-of-3 double elimination, but you can't have that because that would literally just take a month. So what they have done is a single elimination inside the top 128, but every series is a best-of-3 played on the dates that are going to be listed. And again, I'll show you those that will take place in April. Okay, so in that, it's going to work a little bit different. It will take place on Faceit. You'll get access to it once you've qualified, and then on Faceit you will have a bracket and you will face your opponents, in that time span. And again, we'll get into like all of the details once we get a little bit closer in terms of forfeits, things like that, calling admins. I want to make sure that everyone is well prepared for it. So, let's say you make it all the way to the end and you are one of the 8 qualifiers. There's going to be 4 from each console on each region, okay? So 8 total going to Canada, the US, and the EU region. They're going to play, and that's when it takes place in Toronto and Connecticut and whatnot for those events. That's what you see on the big stream. That's where you want to make it. You're getting to that first land for the GWC before Vegas. Again, things that are changing again this year is it won't just be 2 players that will make it, okay? It will be 3, which is huge. So there will be a total of 9 players total in Vegas. So 3 from each region. And, I'm super excited for that because, that just makes, a bit better competition. So it's not just the top 2, it will be the top 3. Now, I also need to mention, once you've made it through the top 128, so you've made it through the online play, in the Hut Champs kind of mode, you've made it to the top 128. Then you've made it through to the top 4 on each console, or on the console that you're playing, so now you're in the final 8 players for your region, okay? You will then have to do a Hut team draft. And again, if you didn't see what this last year, I hosted it on my channel for the Vegas finals. You will get a reduced player base, and you will then draft your teams, the 8 of you. Essentially, like if you haven't seen on Twitter or whatnot, I'm running something called Hut Connected, where you draft players and whatnot. They can't be traded. What you draft is what you use, and so forth. So it's a really cool way to do this event because it is Hockey Ultimate Team, so you want to build the best team obviously possible to get to the regionals. But once you're at the regionals, then we have to even the playing field. So they reduce the player base, they make it so that there's the same amount of top-end players, middle tier and bottom tier players and goaltenders and all of that, and then you draft, okay? So again, that was my favorite thing from last year, and it will take place at the regionals. So once the 9 players from in total that have qualified go to Vegas, then the 9 players will go to Vegas, and just to avoid confusion and whatnot and how that will work, I'll save that for a different video, and you will also redraft your teams going into that. Okay, so you will again draft after the regionals. You will then draft for the World Finals. Now, some things that I want to get into in terms of player conduct. So this is going to apply a lot to last year specifically because of what happened in the Canadian regionals, where someone was sent, or the NHL became aware of really, really bad messages that one of the representatives had, sent out. I need to stress to you guys, if you want to rage, if you are streaming, if you send stupid DMs because you got beat, okay, do not do it, for the love of God, because you have no idea if you are going to qualify for this thing. Even if you don't think you are, there has been players that have qualified that, for the most part, are outside of the competitive community, but it's Hockey Ultimate Team. Anything can happen. I think the best of 3 format really fixes it, but you have no idea. If you have a really stacked HUT team, you've been grinding the game, don't ruin it by being dumb and sending idiotic messages on Twitter, Instagram, DMs on the actual console, streaming. Just don't. They literally pulled the kid off of the stream 10 minutes before the stream and kicked him out of the event. Okay, so just please be aware of that. The next thing is something that has been more and more common ever since the GWC last year, and that's player dodging. Now, on PlayStation, you can't really do it. You're going to load into this game mode. It's a lot like HUT Champs. You have no idea who you're playing other than the team, or sorry, the jerseys and whatnot, and their first line. So what has happened is they just back out. Now, on Xbox, you can see in the recently played players list, you can see who you're about to match up against, and it's made HUT Champs just an absolute mess where players will dodge entirely until they get 20 players that are just mediocre, or they think that they can win, and it's a joke. Now, for this, they have made it so that you essentially dodge, and you will be kicked out of the event. You will be banned from the event. Now, I don't know how they're going to govern this, because obviously you're going to back out with bad connections, but don't, guys. Don't risk it. You think you want to dodge, nuke one game when, you could cost yourself. So just, again, be smarter, be a better competitor. Okay, if you cannot beat someone and you're deciding to run and dodge to try and make it easier on yourself, it means you're not going to win GWC, so why are you even playing? Real talk. So there is a new rule implemented this year where dodging is essentially not allowed, and you will be banned. So again, I don't know how they're going to govern it, but keep that in mind, okay, guys? Other than that, we're going to get into the prizes. So like I said earlier, the prize pool is insane this year. Okay, so the online play-in, there's $151,700 in American that will be available, and this is going to be housed. So the online play-in, all right, guys? So this is the people that make the top 128. The final 16 in the top 128 will earn money, which is huge. Last year, you didn't earn money at all for qualifying, and this year you do. So if you are first in your region on your console, so it'll be on both consoles, you get 1,000 US dollars. Second place gets 500. Third to fourth get 300 each. Fifth to eighth get 250, and ninth to 16th, which is pretty crazy, will get 200 each. Now the regional final. So the 3 guys that qualify, or the 3 champions. Okay, you will get the 3 regional champions. So the guy that comes first in the Canadian regionals, the US regionals, and the EU regionals, they will get $5,000 each. So you could already be up $6,000 if you come first in the top 128 and then make the GWC in Vegas. You'll up $6,000. The runner-up for each of those events will get $1,000 each. The final, the world final. So there'll be 8 world final prizes as follows, okay? First, we'll get $60,000, up from $50,000 from last year. Second place, $17,500, up from $15,000, I believe. Third, we'll get $12,000. I believe third last year got $5,000. I'm not 100% sure on that. Fourth place, we'll get $7,000. Fifth to eighth, we'll get $2,000 each, and the person that comes in ninth will get $1,000. Okay, guys? So again, all your travel will be paid for the regionals and the world finals, so even that is just a crazy amount of money. There's a lot of money to be had here. I'm super excited for this event. They put more money into it than ever, and things just are increasing and getting better for the GWC each year after year, which is honestly, as a content creator, someone who's just in the space, it's super exciting to see, because if it wasn't getting bigger and better, then it might not continue. So guys, if you have any questions in regards to the GWC, let me know. I'm going to be releasing videos on things in team builds and things, the cards that I think that will be super important to help you guys qualify for the GWC, make it a little bit easier for you as well. And if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to ask me. The best way is to follow me on Twitter at NoSleevesGaming or join my Discord. The link will be down in below. And also the link to register is down below. But again, guys, please subscribe if you haven't. I'm a full-time NHL content creator. You will see content daily from my YouTube channel. And catch me on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/NoSleeves12. I stream from 9 a.m. until about 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. All right, guys, so I will catch you next time. Good luck this year in the NHL Gaming World Championships.